Hello, VOD. Hello, everyone. Hello, CW. Hello, 2C Based with the Gritty Goose emote. Hello, Liz. Hello, Rosario. What's up, everyone? Hello, Brianna. How's it going? Good morning. So, today we're back again. I have a very simple goal. I have a couple of goals, but one of them is we're going to redo our mainnet controller with a whole P2P setup and from the bottom to the top, and I'm going to show you guys how it's done and how it works. One sec, I need to turn down the music because it's going off for some reason. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to build the large controller, get a subnet controller, and get those all working in tandem. And then yeah, we're going to rewire probably our whole base, almost. That's pretty much it. How's everyone doing today? Hello, Batman. I also want to move our storage. There's a lot of stuff we got to do today. So I'm going to start with a little demonstration that I'm going to set up in a sec. Energy, acceptor, cable, P2P, generator. Let's get a couple of you crafting. I don't think I need much else. Let's see, a redstone lamp will probably be helpful. All right, let's set this up. So I have just set these to redstone P2Ps. I wanted to show you guys. This is pretty much the essence of what P2P is. It is really, really simple. So I have just converted these into redstone P2Ps by right-clicking them with redstone dust. I'm going to set that up like that. And we are going to right-click to copy and right-click again. First one was crouch right-click, then second one was right-click. And then finally, we need some power. Let's also get some biodiesel. So you'll see that our energy acceptor has energy. And after a second, yep, these devices will come online, ideally. Maybe I need to copy and paste it again. Chat, my demonstration isn't working very well. Maybe I'll grab a controller as well. Can't imagine why, actually. There we go. Alright, device online and linked. So, I want to explain the essence of P2P. It is incredibly simple. A P2P, when you link it, is a portal from one side to another. And we're going to demonstrate this with redstone. These two are linked, so when I turn on this lever and power the redstone dust, it travels through the P2P network that is powered, and it powers the redstone lamp on the other side. And we can do this both ways. We could even put the lever directly on the P2P. Maybe not. We could do something very close. Oh, actually, maybe redstone is one way. I never knew that. Well, we learned something new, chat. Redstone P2P goes only one way. I did not know that. Hello, Greg Gamerall. Hello, Turn Navi. Hello, GX Eclipse. And hello, Nightly Boy. I've been pretty good. Have you chosen an IEM? I don't know what an IEM is. Well, there you go. So that is the concept which we are going to use today to move channels around our base. And we're going to get channels from a gigantic new controller that we're going to set up today. So let's just do that right off the rip here. I'm going to reset these P2P if I can. Huh. I don't think I can. Oh, No, I haven't. I got wireless ones, but I couldn't figure out how to get them to work with my system. Like I couldn't get my Bluetooth drivers were just like errored. And I like looked up a bunch of different things on how to try to solve it, and just the Bluetooth driver just not working. So I could probably get wired ones, like expensive wired ones, but I have been using the wireless ones to go rock climbing, and that's been really nice. They have noise canceling. It's kind of big. All right. So this is going to be our main controller that we are going to put our main network on. All of our main storage is going to be on here, and we're going to get our channels through these controller faces. All right, there it is, the max size 7x7 controller. We can fill this in with a bunch of stuff, but I'm not going to for now because we probably won't need to ever. What I will do is connect this up to power. So let me go get some cables and get our energy acceptor going, and yeah. Let's get cables. Might as well get dense. And then supercon generators. We should probably do more, right? I wonder if we should go up to this top level for... because this seems like it would be important I/O over here. Maybe I do want to actually go up. We also need to get power over here, which is a whole nother problem that I have not thought about. I probably should have. I think there's power nearby. Let's keep digging. That's pretty close by to something, right? Hello, Teo. Cheers. Hmm. Let's dig around a bit. Let's find our power. Or at least the quickest way to get to it. I think we're actually like right here. It's pretty close by. Yeah, there we go. This is like one of our power spines. Then yeah, I'm comfortable bringing that over. Hey, Batman. Question, how did you make your Dune Run world? I had a very wonderful dev named Mia or Maya. I don't remember exactly how they preferred it pronounced. I don't think I ever asked. And they made a custom jar file that made all of our world generation just Dune. I found that interesting. I think I have the jar file somewhere in my Discord. So it should be in the information and resources channel that I have set up. Okay, that is power, I guess. All right, let's take Should we take it through the middle to the top? Yeah, probably the top actually is the best way to go. Okay, and then from there, we'll take it through here. I forgot that the song was so exuberant. I need to really like lock in on playlists one of these days. I feel like a good playlist could help ease a lot of the like stress of streaming, but I would need a lot of them depending on the mood that I'm in. And like I have a lot of playlists, but it's just it never seems to be enough for the different moods I am in while streaming. Just enable song requests. I don't trust you guys. But more accurately, because of the specific moods that I will be in, I need very specific music, and that's why I need the playlist. Why does line mode never work? Like sometimes it works great. Sometimes it never works. Is it dependent on the angle that I am facing and not on regular GT pipe rules? Maybe. Precise mode, wrench. Good. All right, that should help. Let's get some bad boys wired up. It's not bad. I felt like it's bad if the fluid inside is moving. I think so. Only if it can move multiple directions. So that's why you do the arrows on the pipe. So that way they only go in specific directions and then they don't slosh back and forth. I think that's the meta. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Forgot about amperage, chat. That would have been a hard wake-up call. That's 12 amps. That's more than enough. The MEBF incident. Hello, Claire Palm. I like that little icon near your name. Yes, exactly the MEBF incident. Luckily, we've learned. I have just demonstrated that I've learned from my mistakes, hopefully. So I've got a playlist full of medieval fantasy vibes for everything, and I feel like a wizard building a circuit assembly line wall. You know what? I like that a lot. Like some dark fantasy shit. I fuck with that. You should build a nuke and forget to add coolant. Don't want to be causing any server restarts anytime soon, unfortunately. All right, there's our energy acceptor. You can probably, yeah, it's probably full to the brim. I'm going to just get regular cable here because I don't think I'll need many channels, but we'll keep this dense cable that's attached because we might as well. That should power up our main controller now. It has way more power than it needs, and we can check that using a network tool, which I definitely have on me somewhere. Chat, I think I'm blind. Maybe it's in my ME system. Yep. Right now, 68 controllers uses about 1,000 EU per tick, so that's 2 HV amps. That's nothing. We're generating possibly much more than that, or we can possibly generate much more than that. I think 16. That's 8,192 EU per tick between 16 turbo combustion generators at HV. Sounds about right. And that's 16,000 AE, so. All right, what's the next goal? Controller. Well, I guess the next goal is to attach all of our main storage now to this network here. And we can do that. I had a plan for drives to be socketed in the walls here, which is kind of interesting, but probably a little janky. We're just gonna do it though. How many drives I have there? 8. 2. Actually, I'm gonna do this. And then how are we going to cable this up? What's the best way? Probably rocking a direct cable here. I like to directly cable some stuff just in case the P2P network is not as faultless as I think it is. Hey Yaski, how's it going? How are you doing? Yeah, it has been a minute. I hope you're well. Alright, gets that there. Seems that y'all have resolved the server TPS issues. Oh my god, English. No. We're at 60 MSBT as of me checking it right now. But I'm also the only one on, which is kind of alarming, actually. It's close. It's not bad. It's just not good, necessarily. Could be better. All right, so we've got drives connected, which means that once I put a terminal on here, I think I'm free to start moving stuff. I'm not entirely sure about this though. I'm like wondering if I need anything else to get this started. Probably let's just order a bunch of P2P tunnels. Or at least craft them. That is not a bunch. And this can be an assembler on any. So I just need literally one assembler with pattern space. There we go. Let's say 20 of you. 8 is 32. We already have the P2Ps we need. So let's do 32 of these right now. And that should set us up. Let me think. Do I need anything else, chat? We've got a lot of cable. I've been crafting cable. Just I've been going out mining Certus quartz and then letting my ore proc do what it needs to do. We have a lot of cable. I'm actually very happy with that. 2 more years to go. Started a master's. Damn. Someone should make a mod to donate computer resources to the server. We have the computer resources. HypeServe is great. It's Minecraft that can't handle it. That's the real issue. Minecraft has its own limitations at a certain point that you just can't escape, really. dread it, run from it type shit. Okay. That's that. Probably spray paint. Let's grab... What color do we want our subnet to be, chat? My last run, the subnet was cyan. I could see that working with this aesthetic, but we need to bend the ideas of it. I don't want to do yellow because I think it's kind of a brash color. I would have to make a new spray can if I wanted to go actually ham. Maybe like white? Yeah, let's try white. How do I make one of these spray bottles? I think it's a cell plus redstone. Salt. One of you has sulfuric. Yeah, that's you, isn't it? Could I do this? I don't think we have an output hatch, actually. GTNH 3.1, we've migrated from Java is crazy. Bedrock addition. I like black as my main net. Oh, I'm doing the subnet to carry channels is what I'm trying to color here. What circuit is this again? Probably that. We're gonna try white and see how it feels. All right, you're going. That's not too bad. Am I crazy or did the stuff just disappear? Where's my chemical white dye? Chat, am I going crazy? Sulfuric acid? Oh, I'm in the wrong chem reactor. What am I doing? Chat, what is he doing? Okay, that's gotta be right. Now I'm not sure why that's not working. Come on, man, let me make white dye. It's not that bad. There we go. I needed some more salt. All right, we got that. Got our spray can. Is that enough? Maybe not. Cheers, Camelux. How's it going? Forgotten Furnace with a tier 1 sub. Actually, Anonymous Gifter giving Forgotten Furnace a tier 1 sub. Thank you, Anonymous Gifter. I appreciate you. Ooh, how much white dye do we need again? 2,304, 16, which means 8 white dye, which means 7, which means 14 salt. Oh my gosh. And Camelux with the Prime sub. Thank you. I appreciate that. Subs are always welcome. Primes are good. We want to get our money away from Mr. Bezos. as Mr. Flurbin likes to say. Counting with 9. Is there a way for AE2 to encode a pattern that can use any type of EV circuit? Or do I need to encode it specifically using a workstation? That's a great question. And yes, there is. After a while, I don't know if you can auto do this. It used to be the case that it automatically went for the any versions of the HV circuits, but there is a recipe in the forming press to turn any type of HV circuit into, on circuit 24, into an any circuit. And this thing is like a universal circuit. And you can't craft it into anything, but you can use it for all of your recipes. And then if you ever encode a recipe with any, you can change the type of HV circuit that you use on base. And I find it very helpful to do that. I don't do that early because I'm lazy. Okay, we have our white paint, we got our drives, we're pretty happy. I don't know why I have an extra input hatch, but I'm kind of scared. Got our P2P. Chat, I think we're good. I just need flight now, which has for some reason run out, and I'm not interested in finding out why. Oh no. Soy Cake's flight factory is broken. Can anyone else? Oh my gosh, I need to take off the harness to use the chicken potion. That's crazy. Well, I guess this will have to work. If you favorited a circuit, it defaults to that one instead of any. I didn't know that. Liz, thank you for letting me know. That's a great tip right there. All right, let's move all of our drives. This is going to be a procedure. Let's get a barrel first for my items. I'm going to place that down, chuck everything in here, and then let's get skedaddling. Hopefully this works. Oh, I didn't get a terminal, chat. Oh, whatever, I can steal one from downstairs. Probably should have crafted that first, but whatever. We're down one cell. I think I see it on the ground here. And so this shouldn't have any storage other than ore processing and our passives right now. All of our crafts are here though. That's kind of satisfying to see, honestly. Let's take this, our pattern, our interface. We're gonna bring that all up here. We can now see what's stored on this network, which is just the stuff that's on our drives and no of the passives that we so desperately need. And we're gonna start just disconnecting things because I think we're good to go on cables and stuff. And we're gonna need to reconnect them soon, but this is always the scariest part. Hello, Matt BV. Hello, how'd you get that flight potion? You can craft them pretty easily. Just requires chicken trophy and a feather and an MV assembler. So what's your plan? I'm just gonna start blasting, honestly. Fuck it. I'm gonna break down this main controller. Hopefully nothing explodes. I think our power situation is pretty much off AE2, so I think we're good. I think we'll be okay. All right, so this controller here is going to be entirely a subnetwork. And this subnetwork's only job is to move channels around my base. And I had something set up like this on my last world, and I'll probably do it on my next world. And basically what we're gonna do here, I'm going to, well, first let's put our power cell, attach it to our new network. Let's take our P2P tunnels and we're going to line them up on our main controller. I'm not going to use all of these yet, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you do the math, 8 P2Ps is equal to 8 times 32 channels, and we have 32 P2Ps. So we have 32 squared channels that we can possibly move around our base once I hook this all up. I'm going to hook all of these up to cables. We're not going to use most of these yet, so I'm not going to attach them yet. But let's get started with one side. 1024 channels is correct. Yep. Let's also spray paint these bad boys. That's going to be our signifying that this is on the subnet. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to route all this stuff all the way around. I'm going to try to make it look as pretty as possible. I think that it's kind of inefficient with our cabling, but I'm going to do something like this. I think it'll look a little bit better, which is all I really care about. All right, so here's what we have here. Our main net has our P2Ps. Our subnet is connected to those P2Ps. So these P2Ps are offline because they're connected to this subnet and not to my main net. We're going to move a lot of channels like this. The first thing that we're going to need to do is grab a quartz fiber. The quartz fiber we're going to use to power our subnet. So I'm going to grab that quartz fiber and grab a regular covered cable. And we're just going to be taking power from this main network and putting it through this ME controller that moves our channels. You'll see that all of these devices are now online but unlinked. So let's do a quick, let's quickly reconnect everything that we have if we can. I'm going to get some space freed up here, so we don't need a lot of this anymore. There's 4 P2Ps around the base that we'll have to find, so keep that number in mind. I think this should be on the P2P network down here, so we're going to imagine that it is. What's yogurting, says Soy. Hey, Soy, just streaming, redoing my main net controller. My items are ghosting. I think the flight harness is down. So we're just going to have to keep sipping on these potions. All right, I guess we can get auto crafting set up first. What we'll do is take our subnet. We're going to grab channels out of it. All right, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to reconnect ORPROC actually, because that's what I'm most interested in doing. Better to overbuild now when it's cheap. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty cheap. It's not super expensive to make controllers. So we're just gonna go big right now. I don't think we have enough dense cable to make it all the way over to Orprock. So what I'm gonna do right now is just use the dense cable to get down to here. And then I think something is up either with the server or with cabling. This is part of our subnet, so we're gonna denote that with our white color. Somehow my bio broke. I don't know what that means. This is part of what network? What channels are coming through this? Shouldn't this be a P2P theoretically? Oh no, this was actually directly part of the network. I guess we can fix that then. Alrighty, so what we'll do here is obviously this is on our subnet, so we need to get rid of this, and we're gonna put some regular cable in, and we're gonna place a P2P here. That is the wrong direction. I need to clear these, but I'm not exactly sure how to. I am going to take a network card. It doesn't really matter what direction, but let's go back to our main net here. Did you hear about GTNH modernity? Yes, I did. I don't like modernity. I've been playing with the old-fashioned, like if I wanted a modern pack, I would play a modern pack. I love the aesthetic of these old packs. So all of these are online but unlinked. So I'm going to take one of them. I'm going to copy the frequency by crouching and right-clicking it. And then we're going to work our way over to Orprock over here. Should also disconnect that because that's going to be a different network. And we're going to paste this frequency using right-click. That should be linked now, and then I can rename this P2P Orprock. This is on our P2P subnet. It is using one channel, but you'll see we have the potential for 32 channels coming out of this. This is on our main network. So I have moved 32 channels using one channel on a different network, and that is the concept behind what we're doing today. This should be attached to main network. I should be able to see all of the stuff that's on our main storage as well as on our Orprock, which is perfect. That's exactly what's going on here. We're missing some other stuff because I haven't set up the other P2Ps, but let's do that. I think getting over to the MEBF is probably important, so let's do that. I think this is all P2P. I'm gonna do that. Connect these bad boys up. That's also gonna be, I think we can actually depreciate that soon. Deprecate. All right, now obviously this is a P2P channel that is now disconnected because we have changed how our network works. I think we could do it the other way around, but I'm gonna do this regular. We're gonna copy this and then paste it over to our fish reactor area. And that is as simple as that. And that's all we're gonna be doing today, basically. Unless I choose some other projects. And then let's rename this P2P power area. That should start getting channels. Yep, 26 channels right there. And yet again, we are using one channel to get those channels there. So we could fit 32 of these P2Ps just on one dense cable. Obviously, we're only using this small cable right now. We're not very rich. But yeah, 4 channels being used. I guess I need to reconnect all of the ones in the passive area as well. So let's go do that. P2P power area, P2P ore proc. Let's grab that. How is your spray can infinite? It is not, I don't think. Remaining use is 102. We're actually running out very quickly. I might need to make another one. Does it matter which P2P is input and which is output? For ME specifically, I don't think so. Like, I really don't. But I don't remember. So I'm not going to chance it, right? I'm just going to link them in the correct order, and we're just going to go that way. We're going to rename this P2P passive 1. ME is bidirectional. Okay, then we can definitely go do this a little bit quicker than we're doing it. I need the potion. I think we have a lot of these potions in our main network up here. Maybe not. Maybe it's somewhere up here, actually. Ah, there we are. Because ME does not inherently have direction, it's all one network. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. What else could we do? I mean, we could get our controller over here, or not our controller, like a regular input-output here, so that way we don't have to go all the way up there. Let's get some interface terminals and regular terminals over here. Spray paint. Spray paint, then we're going to get the small covered cable. Then P2P. Then grab our memory card, copy. This one's named, that one's not. We're going to call this P2P ME autocrafting. P2P autocrafting, good. Okay. Most P2P it matters. I always do controller input, the other one is output. Yeah, I do too normally. But I don't think it matters too much. I mean, we could just always copy this and then like paste it here. Doesn't really matter too much. What was I doing? I'm gonna grab this terminal up here. We should probably just put terminals on autocrafting and have a bunch of them everywhere from now on. I don't like moving around to find my terminals. All right, that is a lot cleaner than what we had before. Let's start distributing channels to each of these things as well. We do want all of our autocrafting back online ASAP. That would be nice. I mean, it's pretty simple, actually. All I gotta do is this, and one more where that came from. All right, P2P auto crafting 1. Let's also rename the other one auto crafting 0. Copy this next one. It matters if you want to split channels between multiple ME outputs. That's true. I didn't even think about that. You can do that. Thank you for reminding me. I guess we learn something every day. We're going to paste that, and this is going to be P2P auto crafting 2. P2P auto crafting 3 will go right here. Everything should be reconnected as far as I'm aware. Yep, you can see that all of this is connected to our main network. And then our subnetwork looks like this. It's very simple, very chill subnet. Let's also fix some wiring. Let's get our bees set up. And then I'm going to wire up to our main base, which is another set of P2Ps that we'll need. So all P2P connections are one-to-many. I think so. I want to say yes, but I think there's like some exceptions sometimes. I feel like I don't want to say yes before I know that that's entirely true. You know what I'm saying? Hello, Arceus. Thank you for the 4-month sub streak. I appreciate that. How's it going? We need 8 dye. Let's just do 16 and then salt. 32. Throw that in there. You know, I could autocraft these dyes actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I could make a pattern to send the salt and stuff in here and then send the empty spray can into this output hatch. Kind of janky though. 14-month, I wish. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Arceus. I appreciate your support. This is not Desert Sand Feels Warm at Night. That's a great idea for what I should play next, though. This is a quick one before the Eternal Worm Devours Connecticut by... Who is it by? Let me look it up. Have a Nice Life. I forgot about that. It's a good song. Oh my god, but chat, doesn't that just look so much cleaner right there? All the cabling is out of the way. The mess is gone. Oh, it's just beautiful. Let's set up this bad boy. Invalid machine. Yeah, duh. All right, let's grab another P2P. We're actually going to have to set up a whole nother set of P2P soon. I'm going to copy that. Paste it here. P2P auto crafting 4. Let's see if the thermostatic harness is recharging. There we go. Thank you, Soy. All right, let's set up our second row of P2Ps. We're just gonna attach these as we go. We don't need to connect all of them at once. And it's, in fact, probably easier for organization to attach them slowly, one at a time. I'm gonna actually go on the opposite side so it's mirrored. Probably do like this. Did you know that P2P stands for point-to-point, not peer-to-peer? I think both of them, like, essentially mean the same thing. So the distinction is mostly just pedantic, in my opinion. But one of those is probably true. Yeah. All right, copy that. Let's go get our bees all set up. Uh-oh. Wait, this used to be part of mainnet as well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. We're gonna need to do a little bit of mouse tooling here. I did not mean to color all of that. Wish there was a solvent. Oh, there is a solvent can, isn't there? It's just acetone. How bad is acetone? Isopropyl. Acetic acid, which is ethylene and oxygen. Okay, wait. Maybe I should make a solvent spray can, because otherwise I'm gonna have a hell of a time digging all this shit up. How do people get tungsten steel and HP for blood magic meteor rituals? I think we killed the Chaos Dragon. For some reason, killing the Chaos Dragon gives you a 5 IV tier loot bags, which is theoretically doable in MV actually, because this is just an MV fluid extractor. So do with that information what you will. I wonder if it will get nerfed, I say, knowing that it will get nerfed. All right, 4K acetone. Acetic acid with a non-consumed calcium, 16K oxygen. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. I don't know if the devs are actually going to nerf that. I do have a sneaking suspicion that they will, just because that is what their track record is like, as far as I'm aware. But like, who in MV is killing the Chaos Dragon in insane conditions is my rebuttal to that. Oh yeah, that's offline. That would do that. Do we have oxygen over here? Yes, we do. All right, first thing is circuit 8. Let's check the outputs, make sure they're clear. Ethylene, oxygen for acetic acid. Then we need a non-consumed calcium dust. Luckily, we've got quite a bit of that from ore processing. Let's chuck that in there. Acetic acid will pop into here, and then circuit 3. I don't know what quest I just got. Okay, very cool. Not enough fluid output space. What do you mean? Oh yeah, there's 3 outputs to this. There's acetone, carbon dioxide, and water. Okay. I guess this will have to work for now. Ugh. All right, there's our acetone, which we will... What is this? A large aluminum fluid cell plus redstone? Really? Okay, okay. No, no, no. I get it, I get it. I'm not mad, bro. I'm just disappointed. Oh, what a chill day. Do I need a fluid canner for this? There's no... Can't just take it out? Okay. Can't just yoink that shit. I am glad that we most definitely possibly have a fluid canner. Oh, there we go. Thank the Lord. All that for one spray can of solvent, chat. Welcome to GTNH. All right, let's grab our channel, or sorry, our P2P frequency off of this. I think I copied this before I left, so this should be, yep, AA23, yep, 102. All right, I'm gonna head over to the B area, get that all set up. P2P-Bs. That should help. All right, so our network is back online pretty much entirely. We've got all of our passives. I think the last thing is to go and get our networks that are upstairs and get those set up. And then I have a couple of small tasks that we got to do because I have some plans for the future. When we hit EV, I have... Uh-oh. Why did I do that? Sometimes I surprise myself with my stupidity. Autopilot moment. Yeah, why did I just click the claim all quests button? What? Like, what ungodly thing just... yeah, I can't explain it. I can't explain it. Let's do a little inventory clear here. Grab cables, anchors, P2P. I think that's everything. Let's get set up upstairs. I'm going to depreciate this line, or deprecate, or whatever the hell we call it. And we're going to send a P2P, or a dense cable, straight up through the middle here. I don't think this is a good idea, but we're going to do it anyway, because it's going to help us get access to the upstairs. I could actually do something to make this really simple. I can defrag this in a very simple way. We're going to grab this wireless that I have here. We're going to use that to get our channels upstairs. Wireless costs a lot of energy, chat. It is nothing to scoff about. One wireless connector can drain a lot of energy. I think it's... what's the equation, chat? It's like 2ln or I don't know. Log base 2 something. I don't know. There's some fucking fancy ass equation that I don't know. That basically means that it's like sub-exponential based on the distance. So let's see, that's using 154 AE per tick. The farther I go, the more energy it's going to use almost exponentially, a little less than exponentially. And that is that's pretty tough. That's a lot of energy. But now we can use that to kind of defrag all of this bullshit. We don't have a date for, let me get these ban evaders real quick. There's been so many bots recently. It's like 2 every stream at the minimum. All right, let's grab our subnet over here. I guess we could do it all the way up. Well, no. Let's do it on this level. Hasn't seemed that bad. We're going to start using a lot more wireless connectors and LUV. Yeah, once we have nukes online. So next here, I have some evil plans. We're going to do nuclear reactors. And I have plans to get about potentially 16 million EU per tick in EV. Whether we actually do that or not is it's up to the philosophers, right? But it's probably gonna happen. It's probably gonna happen. X times log of x squared plus 3. What the fuck is that? What is that? Who made that? What does that even mean, bro? Oh man, are we out of dense cable? We're always out of dense cable. That's okay, I don't need too much of it because we don't really have that many P2P connections up here. I've done most of the heavy lifting on dense cable. In fact, I can split some of these up into different networks here. Let's grab this at least. We can also grab these for now. And I do believe we need to connect ourselves to this network here, which I wasn't before. There's a lot of weird shit going on here. Why is there a fluid export bus here? What was Fleur been cooking? So let's get at least one dense cable here at the P2P. And I'm going to take these dense cable here and I'm going to repurpose them. This used to be mainnet, which is why I needed these dense cables for the 32 channels. This is no longer to be mainnet. I'm going to split these into a bunch of P2Ps and we're going to have a good time with that. Okay, grab that. Do that. Do this. And then we're going to color this for posterity. This is going to be our main base P2P connection. Got B's. Let's do copy this. Because it was y equals x squared, so that was even worse. So I guess it's better than y equals x squared. I don't know the math behind it, but... All right, our P2P main base should start connecting very, very soon. Yep, you can see our 4 channels that we're getting out here. It's not too much, but it's handy to have all of this storage here accessible to anyone. Brianna's having sushi. I fuck with sushi. I don't have it very often though. What's going on here? One of these days I need to mine all this shit out. There's too much clutter going on these days. All right, let's get channels to the rest of everything. I think I only need regular cable from here on out. We're just going to put a bunch of individual P2Ps where they need to go. That's no longer working. Oh, maybe it is working. Huh. Maybe we need to do something about that. I feel like this should just be moved. We should redo the silicon solar. There's a lot of solar though. I'm really trying to think of what to do here. I think some of these dense cables where they're at is fine, I think. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to get a P2P here. We're going to change the... This cable here is kind of free hanging right now, but it's connected to this network over here. Let me fix that real quick, and then we can connect everything up. 100 blocks is 400 AE, 200 blocks is 920, 300 blocks is 1500. That's nothing to scoff at, chat. That is a lot of energy. Oh yeah, I forgot about that node. All right, so from here, I'm gonna paint that white. I'm gonna get the, I guess we can go one more. Grab that, that should be good. We'll need to connect it, obviously. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't want this to be linked to main base. Okay, unlinked. Let's copy that. Let's rename it P2P. All right, I have the settings 19 CB. What's going on here? I don't even know what's going on. I think I fucked up that P2P right there. Sometimes you connect shit that you do not want to, and it just permanently ruins it. All right, P2P beaches. I think that's working. Whoa. From 10K to 400? Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I can't lie. I'll take that. Oh, wait. Pause. That can be that. There we go. Okay, we're getting this all set up. It's very complicated for me. Especially with this wiring. Like, I'm used to having a base that's, like, so laid out in quadrants that I don't need to think about this type of stuff. But, like, having a complex base with a bunch of different routing it's really hard to work with, honestly. Don't know if I would ever do something like this again. It seems a little too complicated for me. Does GTNH have the advanced memory card? It does. Sometimes I like the visual indication of like moving around from place to place, and it makes a little more sense to me. The advanced memory card is objectively better. It's just a little more confusing for me and probably for viewers as well, so I don't mess with it normally. All right, let's go grab our channel. This should be the last one, ideally. That's beaches, that's connected. We're gonna copy that. And then we'll paste it right here. And we're going to rename that P2P West Corridor, West circuits. I guess that works. All right, let's see. Everything should be reconnected at this point. We have a massive network now that can host a bunch of stuff. Our circuit crafting is back online. And yeah, I guess we're just missing crafting CPUs now, which is good because I need to redo those. Look at that though. That's a thing of beauty right there. I don't like this big like cowlick that's coming off the top though. I might wireless that just for aesthetic purposes. We should be losing energy quite rapidly, honestly. I would not be surprised if that network depowers pretty quickly. All right, that's fine. Looking good. All right, let's set up a place for our crafting CPUs now. We've got most of our drives that will be set up here. I could make some more, probably. Get the aesthetics going. It's funny because you say that I find the advanced memory card better to use for me because it visually shows you what is part of the PTP connection you're currently selected. That's true. That's true. Let's see how we can make the advanced. Oh my god, that's so easy, right? Might as well. Missing diamond plate. We're also missing our crafting CPUs, which I'm getting more and more realizing. CPU, crafting, computer, 4K? There we go. 4K crafting storage. Should I? I'm scared of this thing. I won't do that for now. Where do we want to put our crafting CPUs is the real question. I feel like it would be kind of cool to have them like almost in the walls, maybe? Yeah, I don't hate that. I like that actually. That works for me. Let's make some really beefy ones today. Do I have crafting 4K crafting storage on auto? Let's put some patterns down. Let's do crafting unit, circuit 2. I don't think I have that, but I think I have some space in my molecular assembler, quote unquote. Hey, Nine, when are you guys going into EV? I don't know yet, actually. We'll figure that out sometime soon. I don't want to pressure anyone because I still have stuff that I can do in this tier for a little bit. But it should be within a month, I would hope. I think most people have their AE systems like on lock at this point. And I've done like most of the quest book. We have a couple of things that we can do though. We have currently 8 plus 6. We need 2 plus 8. 10 plus 24, 34. Good. What is the purpose of putting arrows on ME interfaces? ME interfaces can put things into all sorts of inventories in all directions. The arrow is to make sure that it only goes in one direction and does not try to place items into adjacent interfaces instead of going in the direction that they gotta go. That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. I'm glad our auto crafting is back online without too much of a fuss. Yeah, take this for example. The way that this is set up, we'll get half of our recipes actually going into this carpenter because this interface has an adjacent inventory on 2 sides. So it'll split the recipes evenly between this. I actually need to get rid of this diamond barrel here. Otherwise it's going to cause some problems. We're also going to want some... What are these called again? Crafting... It's like a way to do multiple steps at the same time. Parallelization? No, what are these called? Maybe we can check the uses of crafting units. Co-processing unit. Yep, that's what it is. The crafting co-processing unit allows a single recipe to send items to 2 different inventories within the same tick, I think. And so we're going to want a couple of these eventually. Like, they're not super useful right now, but they'll put in some work. So we'll put at least, like 1 or 2 coprocessors on each of our crafting CPUs. Let's just put the recipe down for this. It's pretty cheap. Probably should have multiplied this recipe, but it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do some aesthetic stuff right here just for now. I guess this is fine. Wow, out of deep slate tiles. That's a weird one. Are the builds already getting the server crash coming server crash incoming size? The builds are not crashing the server, but we're certainly slowing them down. Despite all of its optimizations and despite all of HypeServe's wonderful server stuff, we simply, the limits of Minecraft are quite limiting. So we're running slower than we should be just because of Minecraft, but I don't think we've reached like server crash on load type shit. Like we're not that bad. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. I think some bases need to work on their optimization a little bit because the rest of the bases are suffering because some bases make some laggy shit, but it's okay. We're simulating slow, but we'll live. Not to call out the goslings well, I guess soy is fairly lag free. I think there's some stray mobs that are around that have been causing some problems, but I don't think they're too much of an issue. I think it's mostly just overworld bases, honest to God. I think the overworld is just kind of a curse because you get all these mobs trying to spawn, and mobs and pathing are famously horrible for servers and their tick speed because you need to calculate a lot of stuff based on pathing and stuff. So that is probably the main issue. Damn, 20 seconds per CPU? Sheesh. Let's just order 6 of these. We don't need too many. Pretty cheap, but that's gonna be nice. I feel like we kept running out of CPUs between Flurbin and I. Especially with the amount of space that they had. Like, these 4Ks are fine, but they're not that big. Like, they can't really hold the amount of stuff that we can do. Like, I can queue 5,000 stainless steel. I could queue 20,000 stainless steel ingots, and like, our resources wouldn't flinch. But we simply can't, until we upgrade these crafting storages, which I'm doing right now. Can't really do much about that. That looks nice, though. I really like that. All right, I guess another thing I wanted to do was to get terminals and stuff on AutoCraft because I'm tired of crafting these things by hand. Let's get ME crafting terminal on AutoCraft. Mostly, at least. I think we could do most of this. I could just craft out a bunch of these little crafting stations right now and not have to worry about it for a long time, so I might just do that. That'll work. Everything else we have on auto. ME terminal, let's get that going with the right MV circuit. And then illuminated panel is normally the issue. Molten soldering alloy? Or this shitty recipe? Wait a minute. That's actually really not too bad. Let's get rid of some funky recipes here. I think compressed chest can go. So I'm going to pattern this illuminated panel, and you'll notice that we don't have fluid auto crafting, but if I get a soldering alloy ingot, which is 144 of the liquid, and I divert that in this little subnet to automatically go into the fluid extractor, which I have so conveniently placed next to our assembler, suddenly, let's craft 16 of these. I think we have soldering alloy on AutoCraft. I just forgot to reconnect it to our network. Let's get over here. Kind of want to wireless that. It's probably going to PMO a little bit. That's auto-craftable. But yeah, let's go down and check out the illuminated panel should now work. There we go. We only have 2 CPUs though. This is what I'm talking about with not enough CPUs. Really loving the series. It's much more interesting to me than speedrunning. I hear you. I hear you. I'm gonna probably start my own solo world pretty soon. I think I'm running out of... Like, I can't just no-life this server, which leaves me with nothing to do sometimes. You know, that's a healthy thing. But I don't know, I'm thinking about super flat survival. That is my idea of fun. Could make a nice little video series on that, and I think that would be interesting. Oh gosh, I hope I didn't just void everything in this crafting storage by... I guess it doesn't really matter because everything was in the assembling machine anyway, so... Scary. I would watch it, TPH. I appreciate that. I'm hoping. I think it would be really fun. Okay, let's get our coprocessors, which are probably still being crafted. So I guess I'll just wait on that. Let's do our illuminated panel. I'm actually going to sort by item name, and I'm going to just do show all craftable. I feel like we only craft stuff here. We're not really looking for items. Once the soldering alloy gets through that pattern, it should send... Yeah, there we go. You'll see it'll send the items to the assembling machine and the soldering alloy ingot into the extractor, which should then turn that into liquid. And that is the purpose. This is a little subnet here. It's kind of nice. I would recommend this. Yep, it already went. There's the soldering alloy, and it gets put right into here. Kind of cool, right? We could probably multiply that pattern in order to have a better time with throughput, because right now it's doing one item at a time, but I think it should be okay. Oh, we're waiting on red alloy plate, if we're going to be honest. Good time to start a new world with 2.9 on the horizon. Yeah, I'm ready for 2.9. Once crops and H drops and knack is in dailies, I think I'll start that run. And maybe I'll do a subathon. Who knows? Been thinking about it for a while. Let's see what happens. I'm going to change this from any MV circuit to this, and then we need to do 4. We actually need some blank patterns. Out of glowstone plate, well, I can pattern that. If I had a pattern, I could pattern that. Damn. We can go right here and look up cutting machine. No glowstone. Man, this has been actually a recurring problem. We need to get some glowstone locked in. Crops are already in the dailies. That's awesome. I need knack. I need knack. And also I'd like my EBF sound update to be in the dailies, which I think it might be, honestly. I'm not quite sure. Thank you for the follow, Hanzik. How are you doing today? I appreciate that. Is there a way to get glow? I mean, there's glow flowers. I could compress glowstone. I'm not sure if we're producing glowstone in any way. It's kind of a pain in the ass, and I don't have compressor. Well, I do have compressor on AutoCraft. Maybe I need to get one of these farms online instead of just doing this every once in a while. But then where's the fun in that? Glowing coral. Is that a crop? Oh, maybe it is on daily. Yeah, I don't do crops here. Oh, gross. Don't even start with that glowing coral BS. I might get a bee though. A bee might be nice. Damn, that is a lot of those flowers. Actually, I have a question. Horn of the Wild. Oh my gosh. And I don't get burned. Lovely. Algae farm for glowing coral? I do have an algae farm. Green algae biomass plus glowstone. Yeah, but I think we go negative on glowstone in that case. I like where your head's at, though. I like the vibe. That should be enough to tide me over for the next, 5 minutes until I need to go out and get more glowstone. I hate these vines in the nether. Not only are they, like, kind of ugly in my opinion, they get in the way of all types of flying. It's the secret strat no one tells you about. There's also slash give. Ah, yes, yes. I forgot about that one. The red wrench strategy. It's a classic where I come from. All right, there's a couple of things I was going to do. Let's order some blank patterns first. That'll get going. What are we waiting on in the cutting machine? Oh, no, it's going. It's just waiting. There we go. All right, two things. Wireless controller. Let's get that patterned out. Guess we're just gonna throw it in there. What was the other thing? Was it wire ME terminal? I feel like I already did that, but maybe I needed it for a pattern. All right, this is probably the most wasteful wireless I will ever do. I do not care though. We ball. We do not care. That was easy. Where's your glowstone? From which? Oh, that's true. We literally are printing glowstone and I'm doing nothing about it. You're actually incredibly correct, and I'm just being silly, I guess. Do I care that much about co-processing? I forgot that these need to be prisms. I guess what I could do is call a bunch more of these crafting storages. I think we'll just leave it without co-processing. I don't think it matters this early into the game. Let's name these bad boys. I like to name mine... what's the first one? Archangel. Throne. And Seraph. Those are my CPUs that I've brought from all of my playthroughs, and I will never let them go. Those are my faves. I guess I'll let Flurbin name all the ones on the left. Those will be his. Okay. Honestly, I think we've accomplished a lot. We've only been streaming for 1 hour and 40. So let's look at our checklist real quick. I think I've reconnected everything. Channel rework is done. Oh, I forgot about one little connection that I need to make near my ORPROC subnet. Let's go fix that real quick. There's one mainnet connection over here that this is offline, and this is what we're using to make Ruby Ruby Sluice and stuff like that. So let's at least get this online, I think. This is one of my favorite songs ever, actually. American Boy by Estelle and Kanye. It's very good. I need to color something inconsequential. There you go. Remaining use is 235. Why did it say 1? Am I crazy? I think I'm crazy. Finally done with the power upgrade. Lovely. It's always nice. Okay, so here's what I think I'm going to do. Let's just connect this back up. It doesn't really matter. We're going to take this P2P pretty much all the way to the top here, and then just put an output tunnel right here, and then we'll have enough mainnet channels here to do whatever we need to fool around with in the future. So I'm going to do... reluctantly. Yep, that works. And then let's color this. And then we connect. I gotta go back to the main controller here. This is why the advanced card is much better, I guess. Time to get... actually got the 96 nuclear reactors to work. That's gonna be us soon, I think. I'm excited for that time. Is this linked? Did I not name this? No, I didn't, did I? We got beaches, we've got main base. This must be the circuits. P2P clean room, and then I'll copy this bad boy. Did you do the multiple controllers method in the Discord? Oh, like SFM controllers, as we were talking about. So my ass has set up 96 nuclear reactors. I'm assuming that they're the Tiberium ones, the ones that do 4 million EU per tick, which is, you know, that'll last you for a little bit. And he was having a problem where the SFM wasn't able to move the coolant cells fast enough, and so the solution was to add more SFM, like divide the SFM controllers between a bunch of different nukes instead of just having one program control all 96. Ah, there we go. I hear it starting up again. Perfect. All right, let's check off a couple more things on our list. I've got some small stuff. We have PTFE, thanks to Flurbin, in LCRs, and we can go check on that real quick. And that PTFE needs to be solidified automatically because we don't really have fluid crafting. So I'm going to make some solidifiers. Let's just pattern this out so I don't need to do anything crazy. There's got to be a recipe for this that I'm favoriting that I don't like. I want to favorite these. Maybe I can just favorite a recipe here. Maybe that will help. So let's try that. There we go. Thank you, Liz. That was a good tip. I did not imagine that this would need such a crafting tree. I love my MOX fuels, my reactors being on fire. Yeah, we're about to have, I think I'm going to try to do 16 MOX reactors next year. And I did some, what was my tip? To favorite the circuit that you want to use in patterns. So as you can see, we've got a stabilized centrifuge set up, right? And that produces a fuck ton of uranium. Uranium is used for nukes. We need that passively, but in order to make MOX nukes, we can breed plutonium, but we first need a big supply of it. So the best way to do that is by taking an HV centrifuge, at this tier at least, and centrifuging one uranium-238 dust for 100 seconds in an HV centrifuge for a 5% chance to get one plutonium-239 dust. We need about 6,000 to start up whatever amount of reactors I was thinking. I think it was just 8 for now. Actually, 4,320. So I calculated that it would take about, I think it's like 4 days if we did 10 HV centrifuges. But yeah, and that's if we're lucky. Yeah, or if we have average luck. So that should be like child's play. We just need to set that up eventually and let it run. I think I'm going to leave titanium passiving for another stream, and we'll just do that another day. So let's set up the solidifier now, and then I'll be pretty happy with our day. Do need a 4-sided drawer, 1x2, 2x2. No upgrades is probably fine. And we need solidifier molds. So for all the LCR parts, we need one rod mold, one of these plate molds, a large pipe, and a normal pipe. Let's see if we can replicate those. We might as well do multiple, right? Hello, Cleopas. How do you plan make cool rooms for machines? I either make them way too large or way too small. Make them way too large. Just make them way too large every single time. They'll never be too large. I promise you. You will always need more space. Too large is a good problem to have. Gambling and breeding, you really have it all in GTNH. Yeah, that's all you need in life, really. Let's grab our molds. Clean room maintenance voided my circuit crafts. I avoid that by having a maintenance cover and a howler alarm. So anytime my clean room needs maintenance, it's just a howler alarm goes out through the entire base. There's another way to do this actually. You can get a dynamism tablet to respond to maintenance with a full toolbox, and that also works. So you just like place the dynamism tablet facing the maintenance hatch, have that cover trigger on one issue, and it'll just right click the maintenance hatch with your toolbox full of all your tools, hopefully. That's another way to deal with that. Yeah, the alarm is quite the jump scare. Although, I'll probably want to do the clean room maintenance thing a little differently once I get nukes online, because I obviously will need to focus on my alarm on the nuke. Having two different alarms for two conflicting things might get confusing. All right, let's check on this. Ooh, 2,064 PTFE. Don't mind if I do. We got some pressurized. Oh, wait, this is the shitty fluid conduit. I think we're out of the good one. Let's see what I can do with pipe. How do we want to do this? probably like this, that, and then have everything face up into this, maybe. It's kind of gross, but I'll take it. We also need to somehow fit a storage bus in here, which is alarming, but hopefully that'll work out. Okay, we're gonna do, yep, machine block. Yep, this is my best work yet, chat. Oh man, how are we gonna get PTFE in here? This is something, chat. I haven't made something this beautiful in quite a while, I must admit. Florbin's gonna love this, actually. How am I gonna get a storage bus on this? Oh, I'm so silly. Alright, let's do this the same way. Alright, that's a lot. That makes a lot more sense than whatever the fuck I was doing before. What spaghetti am I witnessing? That was probably some of the, uh-oh. No. Bad. Don't connect. Bad. Did I do anything bad? Okay, I think we're good. Let's color those before I do anything drastic. Getting some text here. All right, PTFE should be coming in. Let's do plate, pipe. Actually, plate, rod, normal pipe. It's going slowly. Hi, Shrevy, by the way. How's it going? Haven't listened to Nights in a long while. I guess we could just take this fuel line. I don't hate that. Now I'm really wondering, oh, I know why. Because the fucking outputs are facing the back. Silly me. And then we could just get some conduit and put this all together. It's that shrimple, chat. Oh, I need more than one. Well, I guess we're coloring all of them now. Auto output. Extract on black, always, I guess never active is fine. Where are the plates going? Extract on black, never active, insert on black. There we go. Okay, let's lock that up. And then we just need to storage bus that to expose it to the network. And this is good because now we can auto-craft circuits without having to go and solidify a bunch of PTFE by hand. Oh, thank God. It feels strange to only have a bunch of single block machines or several multi-blocks in 3x3 or 4x4 rooms. Yeah, you definitely need some big rooms, I feel like. But, you know, it'll always get bigger later, right? There's always going to be more stuff down the line. Bigger is definitely better. You can make it less strange by adding contour to your rooms, like having a flow to them or having a interesting pattern to them, like this circuit pattern, I think helps break up the room a little bit. And then this overhead stuff gives it kind of dimension and direction. So even when I had like 5 machines, it still looked nice in here. And I think that's the goal, right? Oh yeah, speaking of, let's make some crafting terminals. Forgot to pattern that last bit, didn't I? Thank God that that is fucking on AutoCraft now. Yeah, that should have been a while ago. All right, the last bit is to storage bus this. Let's check our channels. There is 7 channels being used on this little strip. And then there are a total of 26 coming out of this P2P. So we'll probably need to get a second P2P down here pretty soon, especially if I set up Stabloy. But for now, a single storage bus will do just fine. I'm going to partition the storage based on what's inside of it, and I'm going to do extract only, which I think is good. And that's it. We have all of that shit on AutoCraft, so our LCRs and our circuits will finally be okay. Let's see what we're missing if we try to order, like, I don't know, 2,000 of these bad boys. Wafers, tantalum, and PTFE sheets. So we solved the PTFE, we need to solve tantalum soon, and wafers, and that's it. And probably need to get even bigger crafting CPUs, which I guess we could just beef up. 32 kilobytes, not bad though. Let's see. If I said 10K stainless, yeah, I could do that. Nice. All right, that's not terrible. You gonna do lava centrifuge for tantalum? No, we'll probably dupe it using magic. Alrighty. Is there anything I can solve really quickly? The circuits, this is the tantalum, PTFE. What was the last one? Wafers. I have been wanting to fix this for a while. I do want to get some phosphorus doped wafers. I guess now is as good a time as any. Yeah, there's a tantalum nugget dupe, if you didn't know. It's really overpowered, actually. It's probably getting removed or changed in some way. 1 to 3 nuggets with a couple of aspects in a crucible. It's pretty damn good. I am currently wondering how many of these bools we could do at once. Oh, we already have a pattern for this. Did Flurman already do this? Oh my god, maybe he did. Did he do this correctly? It's doing 8 at a time. Probably only has space to do 8 at a time. Oh my god, Flurbin, it's going off. All right, let's redo this pattern because we can only fit 8 of these in a bus. Good job, Flurbin. That is a quest right there. Tantalum dupe is getting nerfed by requiring Nebrisium. Nebrisium. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Because if you try hard enough, you can get Nebrisium. But if you're not, then it's pretty rough. Which is actually, that's pretty good balancing. I don't mind that. Thank you for the follow, Cleopas. I appreciate that. Let's make some patterns here. Man, there's not a lot of space to make patterns for this bad boy. I guess I could put another interface here. If we have the channel space for it. Yep, that's dense. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's pattern out our bools. I'll leave them in the ME system to be patterned. We've got our wafers, which are pretty chill. Damn. That's nice. Remember when patterning to remove byproducts. So we're going to remove the excess silicon solar grade from this pattern, as it will try to call whenever we need solar grade and we don't have it, it'll try to call for that pattern. So reminder to always remove your excess. Let's just do 8 at a time. Why not? Like, we can split it between the 2 cutting machines. Then I gotta redo these recipes because I gotta redo most of the recipes. I think all of these laser engraver recipes I need to redo with the good wafers. So let's do that right now. Doing the higher tier bools gives you higher amounts of the wafers as an output, so it's pretty much always worth it to do this. Especially if you have the smelting power of an MEBF, like, it's pretty much a no-brainer. You can't craft flat interface? Why did you put full block? Oh, I definitely could have, actually. There's really no reason not to. I guess it saves a cable. There's not a big difference, though. Like, it's just out of preference most of the time. Or brainlessness, mostly brainlessness. This is RAM, and then this is SoC, I think. Perfect. Okay, I think that's all good. So let's say I wanted to make 3,000 circuits. Holy shit. We're actually so goated. Okay, all we need is tantalum, and we could pattern this out with the MEBF. Honestly, I might just do that because I don't think we need excess tantalum dust, which we have a lot of. Yeah, we've got 1,000 tantalum dust, which could go a long way. So let's do a quick pattern here. It's HV at Canthal. I'm kind of wondering how long this would theoretically take. Let's try 256 and then see how the MEBF reacts. Man, that is a long recipe though. Sheesh. I think we could upgrade that if we had better input hatches or buses. Yep, there's our second bots of the day. Cheers, Kato. Remember to pattern the back freezer? Yes, I will. HV 12.5 seconds. We have 64 amps of HV. We should be able to do 75 of those ingots, I want to say. 75. 75. All right, you almost done? 40 seconds? Anything we could do in 40 seconds? We could stare at it. We could double check our work. Let's see. We could add a little bit of an upgrade to that. I feel like it wouldn't hurt. 8 times. I don't hate that, but let's keep it under wraps for now. I feel like we had an iron upgrade somewhere. I'm just not going to worry about it. Let's see, how much energy is this using? 14,592. So, okay, if we had enough space in an input bus, we could easily call, I think, 17 of these bools in one go. The problem is that these buses are not big enough for us to fit that in. I think we could solve that, though. Like, we could make a subnet that has multiple input buses that we just distribute all that shit to. But let's do tantalum and see how far we can get that. 71. That is a very specific amount of tantalum. I hate when that happens, man. I wasn't paying attention. I thought it would be okay. $120 seconds. That's not great, but at least we have it. And I'm pretty confident on my 75 tantalum ingots. Maybe it's 68 actually. Let's look up nichrome. 480. Okay, let's do 68 on that, because that's also a 480 EU per tick. 68. 68. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, baby. We could order 3,000 MV circuits right now, theoretically. And if we had a big enough CPU, it would eventually come through. That's pretty awesome. Probably need some more PVC sheets. That's all I wanted to test today. I think we're good. I think we're in a great spot now. Cleaned up a lot of wiring. Oh, hello. Like, look at that. Our main controller is now set up with all sorts of bells and whistles. We got power routed directly into it. We've got all this P2P that we can use in the near future. Life is good. And take a look at what these networks look like. I think that this is the coolest part, is looking at the P2P network. I guess we can get out of here and show you. That is our very simple P2P network that is just bringing the channels to the areas that they need to be. And that's all down there. It's very nice and clean. Yes, my ass, I agree. And then if we go down here, or actually we don't even need to go there. Check this. That is our main net. This is where all the mess comes in. All these pink connections are our P2P. And then all these yellow are our dense cables and blue is our normal cables. We got a lot of connections in this base for now. Life is good. All right, let's go find somebody to raid. I think that's a good place to end today. Thank you for joining me. It's been lovely. Oh my god. All right, we're gonna pass it on. Hello, Cat and Vin. Much love, everyone. Let's give a little shout out to Cat and Vin before we go. I guess I can show off a very quick summary of what we did today. Um, let's get our checkbook. Did that, and then we just need to do that. Okay, so today we set up our main controller, our new main controller with all of our P2P to move our channels around. This is our P2P subnet, which is getting our P2P, like actual P2P faces everywhere it needs to go. And then connected to these P2P faces is our mainnet. And yeah, we just set all of that up today, moved our storage upstairs, got some better crafting CPUs, just some like basic stuff today. So yeah. Oh, Ben, I gotta show you guys my ore processing network. I'm not sure if I showed this to you guys, but this is the thing that I'm the most proud of, is I have HV ore processing fully done. And yeah, it's kind of banging. There's a lot of stuff in here. And I use IO ports to transfer items from their network into all of our processing machines. And that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is very nice to have an HV. All right, so I was gonna raid, and I think we'll still do that. So let's go pass on the love to someone else. I appreciate you guys so much, Kat and Vin. Always, they're my favorite to watch. Let's go find someone. Who we got today? Playing GTNH. Flurbin is playing Jump King, so I don't think we'll be raiding him. Sorry, Flurbin. I guess Orange Creamsicle is playing, so let's do that. All right, chat. Remember, be kind to yourself and others. Do the best that you can, and make a banging P2P network. Honestly, it makes your life better. You know, it's all organized. Life is good. You know, that's my advice for you. Have a good day and give Orange as much love as possible. Peace, everyone.